Hey everybody, how you doing? Coach Keith here, and welcome. Congratulations on taking the time out of your day to make it important to set your goals for 2018. This is where you're going to be able to now create the foundation for your business going forward. This is a 3-part webinar series. The first part today, we're going to be covering the celebration of 2017, setting your dreams and goals, the big rock dream and goals for yourself. For 2018, we're also going to be covering your life wheel and your work wheel. So at the end of today's session, you'll walk away with the ideology and the framework to either do the work on your own after the webinar, where you can plan out the 8 things that you want to accomplish this year in your life and the 8 things that you want to build and improve in your business going forward. The whole idea of this webinar is to help you build a business that you can trust year after year after year. With my clients, what I always do is I review the first year, which is your CEO's review, which is in the package that's provided for you that you can download on this webinar. And after you get that package, it's got everything that I'm going to go through today. So if you don't have it right now, you can try and get it and print it off. If not, no big deal. Just listen to the webinar, watch the process. And then what you can do is after the hours, you can start doing your goal setting. This tool that I'm giving you today can be used year after year after year. It's a tool that over the last 9 years of my coaching with my clients, I have made better and better and better to the point where it's very compact, very easy to do so that you can review your business. There's a lot of things that you're going to learn about your business as you go through this process that's going to make you smarter, that's going to make you more efficient in your business, and we are going to cover where you're going to spend your money. So today is about the big rocks. The second session, which we'll be holding next Wednesday at the same time, 10 a.m., we will be covering your CEO's review and your CEO's forecast. And that's the homework that you're going to need to do between now and then. The CEO's review, the homework that you will need to do is you'll need to go through all your business. You'll need to figure out your full income for the year, how many transactions you did, and then you're going to have to figure out your average commission. You're going to track your business and see where all your business came from. You're going to go through each deal and see and title where it comes from. So did it come from past clients? Did it come from open houses? Did it come from referrals? Was it a sphere of influence? Once you get a framework of where all your businesses come from and you reviewed your whole business, there's a part on that sheet that you're going to fill out that says, what are the top things that you did in your business for return on investment? And what are you going to continue to do in 2018? Then what you're going to do is you're going to do the CEO's forecast. And this is the homework that you need to do before the next session. And in the CEO's forecast, you're going to put your goal of ends that you want to do. You're going to multiply that by your average commission, which you figured out in your CEO's review. And then you're going to fill out what you want your budget to be going forward. And the third thing that we're going to cover in the third session of our webinar series will be the actual budget for you and your business moving forward. We'll cover mail walks, just listed, just sold, past clients touches. We'll cover client appreciation events, advertising, marketing, all the buyers, sellers, brochures. We're going to cover all those things in detail so that you can set a budget for 2018. What you're going to get from that is a nice peace of mind, knowing that you know where your dollars are being spent. A lot of realtors that I work with, when they're finished the CEO's report, they feel like they're in control of their business. They know that they're focused and they have a deep confidence that they're able to get to the end where they need to get to. So it's 2017, and how many of you are asking yourself, can I do it again? Is this possible? Will I be able to duplicate last year? Or if it wasn't a very good year, is it going to happen again? And here's the thing. I don't want you projecting your thoughts into the future of what it's going to be. I want you to make the plan for you to get there. So the process that I'm going to walk you through today is been structured to help you get exactly what you want tailored for your business. There's no one answer. There's no one magic pill that you can just go and implement. Everybody knows they need to call their past clients. Everyone knows what they need to do in the business. And the matter of getting it done is the hard part. And that's what I want to do. I want to give you the confidence, and I want to give you the tools and the ideas so that when you move forward in 2018, you're going to be able to hit it out of the park and have your best year ever. A lot of the teams that I coach that I've implemented this system with have tripled and quadrupled their business in a period of 2.5 to 3 years. Because the first year we do it, we hone down on where they're spending their money, and then we allocate it to where it works the best. And they let go of money that they spent on things that didn't work and reallocated that to new ideas and new things to create more business. So once they've done that with me once, then the next year comes around and we do it again. Just in that period of 2 years, you get so laser focused on running the right business that you're able to actually create a model of business that's able to generate your leads, that gives you the discipline and the actions that you need to take on a daily basis. So that's where we're going in this webinar series. So let's get started today. The first thing we need to do is celebrate. And if we don't celebrate, then what happens is you've completed your year, you achieved your goal, you set the bar, and you go again. And there's this place where you don't actually get to focus on what you did well. You don't get to celebrate and be in gratitude for what you've accomplished in your life. So a lot of you out there, I know, have already downloaded the PDF, as I can tell from the computer, and also some emails were sent out. If you don't have that yet, we're going to be getting to the first page, which is the celebration page, where we're going to celebrate 2017, and we're going to actually set the dreams and goals for 2018. First, I want to give you the philosophy of why this is important. And it's very hard for us to do because as human beings, we don't want to be arrogant. And so we want to be humble. So by being humble, we don't talk about our successes. We don't talk about what we've achieved. We don't talk about the great things in our life. Our close friends share that with us, or maybe our close friends on Facebook, all 950 of them. They might see the great things that are going on in your life. I want you to take time to stop and notice and focus on what you've accomplished in your life. So what you'll notice on your worksheet is at the bottom, there is a menu of different things you can look at so that you can focus on what happened well for me in 2017. So what I want you to do is I want you to take the first page and on the left-hand side, get the pen out and start writing down the celebrations that you had. It's funny because, I was working with a client the other day and I was doing the CEO's report and I walked in and he was left-brained. He's a left-brain, analytical, focused realtor. He's doing really well. His business is strong. It could definitely be stronger. And this year it's going to happen. And I walked in and I said, okay, so let's pull out the celebration sheet. And he pulled out his celebration sheet. And on the left-hand side, he only had 4 celebrations for 2017. He had his volume, he had the dollar amount that he made, and he had a couple of things that he implemented in his business. So what I had to do was I had to actually walk him through the celebration process, which wasn't comfortable for him and probably not comfortable for yourself as well. And so you have all these selections on the bottom of that sheet that you're going to go through. And I want you to write down all your celebrations for 2017. I want you to write down the vacations that you took with your family. I want you to write down all the things that you accomplished with your health, if you went to the gym, your food, that kind of stuff. I want you to write down your work accomplishments, your goals, your ends, your dollar volume. I want you to write down all the celebrations in your life, things that you might have done with your family, with your moms, with your dads. I want you to write down what you've done with your kids. I want you to write down what you might have purchased. Did you purchase a new car? Did you achieve the goals? If you look at your vision board, does your vision board look like you've accomplished a lot of things on the vision board? And what I want you to do is I want you to write all that stuff down till you can't write anymore, till you can't think of any more great things that happened in your life. And now, I have to ask you a question. I know that you can't answer me direct, but we do have a chat room there. What value would you get for your life by actually stopping and celebrating 2017 and all the things you've accomplished? You get through the uncomfort and you actually celebrate those things. What value are you going to get for your life? Why would that be important for you to do? The truth is I want you to mark a moment in time. I want you to mark a moment that as you go forward in 2018, when things get rough, when you have a couple of bad months or a bad month or a deal goes sideways or something doesn't happen for you, you fall back to this moment where you celebrated the great things in your life. And here's the interesting thing. If you don't celebrate this moment with me, what's going to happen is your biggest nightmare, your biggest, worstest year ever. A lot of realtors I talk to that have been in the business a long time that I'm coaching, I say, what was your worst year ever? And they say it's like 1982 when the interest rates went up to 21% and nobody was selling real estate and you lost their house or whatever it was. And when I ask them what stops them from investing in their business, what stops them from spending money to go forward and implement new ideas into their business, they're like, well, I want to keep my money back because I have to prepare for when things go wrong, like in 1982. Well, 1982, if you can imagine, it's 2018. So that's like 36 years ago. And they're actually running their business with the fear that they have from 36 years ago. So the purpose of celebration is to mark a moment in time, noticing that life's good, we have great things, we're accomplishing what we need to accomplish, there's food in the fridge, I have a heater in my house. I might have wanted to do 32 deals last year, but I did 24. I still made good money, except for beating myself up on the 8 that I didn't make. I want to celebrate the 24 that I did make. When I meet my clients in the office, I sit down with them and I look at them and their goal was 36 and they're disappointed because they only got to 34. And I'm like, it's crazy that someone would focus on the 2 deals they didn't get instead of focusing on the 34 that they did get. And that's why the celebration is so important. Number 2, what we need to do is we need to go to dreams and goals for 2018. So in the same process where we've celebrated each part of our life, because on the bottom of your handout, you'll see that there's a list. I want you to go through each one of those items on the list and send your 2018 dreams and goals. So you go through each one and you say, what do I want to accomplish by 2018? What do I want to accomplish at the end of this year? So let's imagine as if we leapfrog forward, it's January 8th, 2018. From today till then, what are you looking to accomplish? What do you want to accomplish? So here's what I want you to figure out. I want you to figure out your big rocks. You've all heard the story before about the big rocks, the sand, and the water. If you haven't, I'll quickly review it. So there's a professor giving a lecture in a university, and he puts a jar on the table, and he says, okay, I'm going to take these big rocks and put it in the jar till he can't fit any more big rocks in. And he says to everyone, is it full? And they say, yes. He goes, no, hang on a sec, it isn't. He reaches over, he grabs the sand, he pours the sand in. The sand goes around the rock, and everyone's like, he says, is it full? And everyone's like, yes. He goes, no, hang on. He pulls out the water. He pours the water all the way around. The water fills up to the top. He says, is it full? They say, yes. He goes, hang on. He grabs a beer, pours a little bit on top, gets that big meniscus going over and says, life's never too busy to have beer with a friend. What he's saying is put your big rocks in first. And that is setting your dreams and your goals for all of your life in 2018, what you want to accomplish with your kids, what you want to accomplish with your partners, what you want to accomplish in your travel, what you want to accomplish in your business, what you want to accomplish in your leisure, what you want to accomplish in your health, your spiritual growth, your learning. Put down the big rocks, what you want to accomplish this year, and they will make up the big parts of your life that you're going to focus on so that you can achieve those in 2018. So here's what we do. We celebrate where we were. We create a moment in time. So today, you being with me right now in this moment is the worst moment of your life. This is it. It doesn't get any worse than this. All you need to do now is take an action today that's going to move you forward. And you already are because you're on this webinar with me, planning 2018 with your goals and your vision. So now that you've taken that action, obviously 2018 is going to be awesome. So here's what you need to do. You need to do the work. Everything that I'm saying to you here now is great and you can absorb it and understand it. And maybe mentally you're having this picture in your mind. But truthfully, you got to take the time and write it down. You need a kinesthetic experience. You need to write it down. Kinesthetic means to write it down. It triggers a different part of the brain. It's interesting. There was I can't remember the exact, the name of this process, but there was a Russian neuroscientist that found that when you wrote something down, there's a part of your brain that just doesn't let it go, and it just keeps thinking about it over and over until it gets done. And that is how, when you do a vision board or you set your goals and write them down, that it actually triggers you down the road to make choices that are different that you wouldn't have made had you not taken the time to write it down. So make sure, if you're not doing it now while you're watching the webinar, make sure that you block time between now and the next week to complete the forms that we've downloaded for you in this webinar. All right, so you celebrate where you are, so you mark a moment in time. So as you go forward, the bad days, you fall back to this being your worst day. Then what you do is you set your dreams and goals for 2018 so that you have the big important things in your life taken care of. It's almost like now, after that process, you can kind of go, okay, I've taken care of these big things. You're not letting life live you. You're deciding to live your life. And that's so important, because if I just start off and I wait for the leads to come in and I wait for something to happen, or I hope that it's going to be a good year, you know, as Coach Keith likes to say, I take hope out of business. I am a pattern interrupter. When I come into your life, it's to stop what you're doing now, notice what's good, start, interrupt the patterns of what you're doing that doesn't work, implement those things that do work so you can have more success. All you have to do is be laser focused. So let's move on to the second part of this webinar. Part 2 of the webinar is setting the big rocks that I talked about in your life. So what I want to introduce to you now is my +1ing model. And the +1ing model is effective because it's not about the big things that you need to do. You know, a lot of people think that I have to do something drastic in my business to change it. And the truth is, all you need to do is start doing little things in your business on a consistent basis to change it. So that's what you need to do in your business. That's what you need to do in your life. So +1ing is a model that I learned at Erickson College when I got my coaching degree. And what I learned there was this simplistic approach, but I want to give you the depth of how it works. So what you do is you take your life wheel and you mark down the parts of your life. Now, everyone's life is different. So when you're doing this at home, take the time. There's also a menu that you can choose from, but take the time to mark out the parts of your life that are yours. And if 8 parts aren't enough, all you need to do is put a line down the middle, create another part over here, call it my coaching business. All right. So now there's another part to mine. So I want you to make a tailored wheel for your life, specifically to you, your things that are important to you. Once you've done that, I'm going to grab another pen here. Once you've done that, what I need you to do is I need you to take the time and stop and notice how satisfied between 1 to 10 are you in each part of your life. So I'm going to work my life wheel with you now so you can get a good understanding of what it is. And then I'm going to show you the process that I want you to go through for 2018 in your goal setting. So the first thing you do is you can start anywhere on your wheel. I'm going to start here with marriage. And I'm going to mark right now my marriage on a scale of 1 to 10. At this moment, I'm going to give it an 8.5. 8.5 out of 10. My family life is probably, and I'm going to go with my mom and my brother and that family life, I'm going to say that's at a 5 out of 10. My health, I'm actually doing really good right now. I've been to the trainer for a while. I'm going to say my health is at a 7.5. When I talk about my spiritual, today wasn't a great day because I was nervous about this webinar and I'm like, wow, is it going to work? You know, I'm putting myself out there. So I was in a real mind mess. I took the time to go through my daily routine today to get here. Spiritually, though, overall, last year and right now, I feel I'm at an 8 out of 10. Learning. This one is so important. You can continually take learning courses. You can read books. You can make sure you watch webinars. You can go to podcasts. Always be learning. It's funny because what I find is with my clients, this part about learning is they get what I call a know-it-all wall. And it's there for a positive reason. The positive intention of the know-it-all wall is they don't want to look stupid. So when they're in conversations with people, they can't learn from them because they want to be the one that knows everything because they don't want to look stupid. But let's knock that know-it-all wall down. The intention is to protect you from looking stupid. But if you can't keep learning, eventually you're going to look stupid because you're not gathering and growing your genius. So right now, my learning, because I read a book a week, I listen to podcasts, I make sure that I'm watching the webinars, I'm always taking higher education courses in my coaching business. My learning right now is at a 9. Travel, it was a great year for me this year. My daughter graduated, so that was awesome. So every time I only have 2 kids, but when my children graduate, they get to have a dream trip. 3 years ago, my son wanted to go to Northern Italy, so we backpacked through Northern Italy for 3 weeks, and my daughter wanted to go see some other countries in Europe, so we hit Scotland, we hit Ireland, we hit Prague, we hit Germany, and we hit Austria. So how was my travel this year? I would say my travel was at a 9.5. As far as fun goes in my life, I would say that's lacking a little bit, so I will say my fun is at a 4. And my work, I'm pretty focused in my work, so I would say I was an 8.5. And then my coaching business, I'm here with you doing a live webinar. We're launching my app, which I'll talk to you about later. We got the Realtor Profit System, training system, which is going live. You know, I'm sitting in the room here with Ben and Abdul, my two mates that are helping me get this out. So I'm going to say my coaching business right now is at a 8.5. After you've taken and marked down on the wheel where you're at, you now have a picture of where your life's at. Remember? That's why I wanted you to celebrate first, so that you're actually in the moment, in the truth. Because if you hadn't have done the celebration first, these numbers would have been completely different, because you forget about the good things in your life, because the default brain, your default brain, the survival brain, only focuses on what went wrong so you don't do it again, and what's going to go wrong in the future so you don't do it. So you actually get into a negative mindset, and you don't celebrate, and therefore it's very hard, and you'd be very critical on yourself in your life when you go to do the life wheel. All right, step 2 of the life wheel. What we need to do here is we need to do the +1 action. So as we go through each one, you are going to go through a time frame. Now, here's what I've learned about having laser focus in your life, laser focus in your business, or laser focus in any part of this. You need 2 things. You need a purpose, and you need a time frame. So the time frame is going to be in the year of 2018. So that's our time frame. Now the purpose, this is the part that I really want to get to today, because this is the part that I've helped my clients tap into, which has been the solid driver of their business for the last 3-4 years. You know, I've got this one client who, when I met them, their income was at about $240,000. They did about 30 transactions. And this year, 2.5 years later, they hit 128 transactions and $1.1 million by doing their life wheel, their work wheel on a weekly basis with me, by identifying their purpose and staying laser focused on their purpose and putting that purpose into their marketing, which is what I call value-based marketing, which is if I market from the heart, people are going to pick me from the heart. Everyone thinks that everyone's analytical and they choose people based on their statistics. And the truth is, people pick good people. People pick people they feel they want to work with. So if your marketing doesn't tell me who you are and I can't feel that about you, then I'm not going to pick you. So why is it important to do the life wheel? Because what happens is if I improve every part of my life wheel, then I'm actually improving my life so I can live my best life. And that is one of the major things and one of the major components about having purpose in life, living your best life. The second thing is, when I'm living my best life, how am I impacting others around me? I'm making a positive difference in their life. You know, I've been doing this now for 9 years, and I do seminars and I do one-on-one. I have 17,000 hours of one-on-one coaching with over 400 realtors. So that means 17,000 1-hour face-to-face appointments. And when I get to defining the purpose and I boil it down, I ask a question that I ask over and over again that can get really annoying, but it goes to a really deep place. And that question is why is it important for you to do the following? And I ask that question over and over and over again. And every one of my clients comes to a point where they say the same thing. I ask them, why is it important for you to live your best life? And they say, well, I want to have good things. I want to be happy. And I say, okay, why is it important for you to have good things? And why is it important for you to be happy? And they're like, well, that way I can give back to my family and the people around me. And I'm like, okay, why is it important for you to give to your family and the people around you? And they say, well, that's what it's all about. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm confused. What does that mean? That's what it's all about. And they say, well, that's what it's all about. You know, I want to make a positive difference in people's lives. And that is the common phrase I hear from 400 clients over all those hours, identifying the purpose. I want to make a positive difference in people's lives. And what I'll do is, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm going to go off the cuff real quick, is I want to show you what that looks like. So if I write up here, and I go to here, and I go to here, and here, this is where greatness lives. This is where good lives. This is where mediocre lives. And this is where failure lives. And if this up here is the bar of making a positive difference in people's lives, the more you make a positive difference in people's lives, you become great. If you're good at what you do, it means that you have this inside you. You haven't identified it yet, and you haven't committed to it yet. So that means you're good because you're out there making a positive difference in people's lives just by nature. And then mediocre is you don't even know this exists. You struggle in your days. 1 minute you're a good person, 1 minute you're a bad person. You go to the yin and the yang. You go to the dark side to the light side. You have this life of turmoil, and you're still surviving. It's mediocre, and your comfort is there. That's your comfort zone. Now, if you do the opposite of making a positive impact in people's lives, and you make a negative impact in people's lives, that's where failure lives. So why is it important to identify your purpose? So that you can stay laser focused on it. And like I said, to have laser focus, you need purpose and a time frame. So if your purpose is to make a positive difference in someone's life, and you're going to do that today, what would the action be that you would take? Or if you're going to make a positive difference in someone's life in 2018, what does that look like? Well, you know what that looks like? That looks like every client you touch, every listing you take, every buyer you work with, you're focused on making a positive difference in their life, and every action you take is aligned with that, and that's how you go from good to great. So what you need to do is set up a daily routine or a ritual that's going to have you in that place. Well, here is your weekly routine that has you aligned with making a positive difference in people's lives, that has you aligned with your deeper purpose. Because in 2018, to take my marriage from an 8.5 to a 9.5, I'm going to book a trip for just my wife and I for 2 weeks, which we've never had a 2-week vacation. Our children are 21 and 18, and they're in university now. And we took Livy on her dream trip after she graduated. So this is the year of Keith and Chris, where we get to have a 2-week vacation. Of course, we have to leave the kids at home, so let's just hope I come back to a home. But the point is, that's what I'm going to do to make sure that we have a big chunk of quality time to take our marriage to the next level. My family's at a 5 to take it to a 6. I'm definitely going to take the effort and make the effort to drive out to see them more. They only live about 45 minutes away. On some days, that feels like 9 hours. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I put it in my plan for the year at a minimum of 2 to 3 per month. So 2 to 3 times per month, I'm driving out to go visit them. I'm going to make that important in my life. My health is at a 7.5 to take it to an 8.5. Right now, I'm doing dry January because Christmas was a bit hard. I think you guys all know what I mean. So dry January is good, but I'm not going to do dry 2018. I enjoy my beer too much. So what I am going to do is I am going to make sure that I focus on eating. If you can imagine this of all things. It was a crazy thing that my trainer told me was the fact that I would wake up and she asked me what I had for breakfast and I told her coffee. And then she asked me what I had for lunch and I told her coffee. And then When I went home, what did you have for dinner? It was like 2 steaks, 5 baked potatoes because I was so hungry. She's like, well, that's why you're not losing weight. I need you to eat. So my commitment to myself is to actually have 3 meals a day. I'm going to eat a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner, and it's going to be proportioned. That's all I'm going to do for 2018 in my health to +1 it. My spiritual is at an 8 to take it to a 9. I'm actually going to book a meditation a retreat that I've got on my calendar in San Francisco in May. So I'm going to do that. My learning, to take it up, I'm just going to continue reading. Read. Listen to audio tapes, listen to audio books, do webinars, do podcasts. Another thing that I'm doing in my coaching this year is I'm going to be starting a podcast called Master Your Genius. You know, if you want, what you can do is you can go to our private Facebook page, which I'll have Abdul post or put in the notes later. And when you go to that private Facebook page, I will announce in there when we're doing Master Your Genius podcasts and when we're doing these things that you can actually implement into your business so that you'll take your learning up a notch as well. But for me, I'm just going to continue reading 2 to 3 books a month. Travel is at a 9.5. It's going to go to a 10 because I'm doing that trip with my wife. So that's awesome. I'll make sure that we do that trip. And then in the summertime, we'll hit a hot spot. Fun in my life's at a 4. It definitely needs to go up. So I'm pre-warning my pals out there. They know who they are. I'm going to be booking some time to maybe do a golf trip. Maybe what I'll do is another hockey trip. But either way, I do know that my fun is going up this year because that's a big part of my life that I need to improve. My work's at an 8.5. My coaching's at an 8.5 to go to a 9.5. I'm actually launching my Realtor Profit System with the Real Estate Focus app. That's all going out. This webinar is actually me +1ing my work right now. Also this year, I'm going to be doing my podcast. So I'm definitely going to a 9.5 and I will see the benefit of that. That's how you do your life wheel. That's how you come up with your 8 things. That's how you stay on track with your purpose. When I accomplish all these things, I am actually taking a step forward to living my best life, which aligns me with being the best leader for my children, which aligns me with making a positive impact in people's lives, which has me living into my purpose, which has me on the journey from good to great or staying at great, instead of being in mediocre and not paying attention at all. My homework for you is to get this done by next week. Also, I would like you to do this weekly or monthly for the whole year and see the impact you would have. My private clients do this with me every week and they feel the difference. All right, let's take this process to the next level. Now what we do is we get laser focused. So back here is my work and it's your work. And your work is realtors. So to get laser focused, what I do is I pull work out and then I go to the next part and I break my work into 8 parts. You have that in your package. You have the next 8 parts of your work. We're going to do the +1ing system again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each one, give you some ideas in each one, what you can do that you might be doing or might not be doing based on what I'm seeing from my clients and that they're working with effectively in their life and their business. So I need you guys to take the time and go through this wheel and mark yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in 2017. How did you do in your marketing? Top of mind awareness. Do people know you? You know, if I woke up in the morning and decided to list my house, do I even know you're in the business? So the actual question is, are you doing flyers, just listings, just solds? Do you have advertisements? Are you on bus benches? Are you farming an area? What are you doing? Are you on Facebook? Are you dark posting me on Facebook? Are you making sure that when I'm searching out fun things on Facebook, your ad runs across the page? What are you doing in your marketing? So on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing in your marketing? I'm just going to pretend there's an agent in the room that I'm coaching and he's going to tell me his marketing's at a 6. Commitment and discipline to your business, being an entrepreneur, being self-employed. Are you focused and committed and disciplined in your business? Or are you getting up whenever you get up? You're not putting on a suit or tie or a nice outfit. You're actually just kind of lazily going through your business. And last year you did 18 transactions, 20 transactions. That was good enough. I'm comfortable there. Or are you committed and disciplined? You get up in the morning, You go to the gym, you come home, you put on your best duds, you get down to the office, you get focused, and you start making your phone calls. You call your past clients, you call your deals from last year, you call all your leads. What I call money-making Mondays, and you'll see money-making Mondays in my Realtor Profit System. And the money-making Mondays is every Monday morning you're in the office by 9 a.m. You're calling all those people you met at the open house before your competitors are. You're following up and booking appointments with everybody Monday morning. That's commitment and discipline. So let's say this realtor's commitment and discipline is at a 7. Office systems. Systems in your office. If you're a realtor and you are doing really well and you're overwhelmed by your work, hire an assistant. It's the best thing you'll ever do. Every realtor that I've coached, that I've met at 30 to 36 ends to 38 ends, I have them hire an assistant, which takes them to 45 and 50, that next level. Out of 400 people I've coached, I've never met one that didn't get to the level of 50 without an assistant. So if that's you and you're out there and you want to go to that level, that is a must. So office systems are also systems that you can have automated. Third-party systems. You need to go out there and hire. If you're an old school realtor and you're watching this, you have to break the mental mold of this shit's expensive, because it's not expensive. You can now outsource with different systems like Realty Butler, like Curator, and all these other companies that are out there. What they do is they take the headache away from the realtor and they make it easier for you. There's one company I know, Ultra Digital Media, Randy runs it. And basically Randy has just boomed his business by taking care of headaches for realtors. The one system that he's implemented that I think you all should implement is he will print what you want printed, a postcard, a flyer. He will print it, fold it. He will go to the postal walk. He will set it up. He will take it to the post office and drop it off. All you need to do is do an email or a phone call to him to give him the information, and he does the rest. It's a great system that keeps you consistent at getting things out there for your marketing and a commitment and discipline to your business. And all he charges is a fee to do that, that at the end of the day is so worth it, because not doing it is costing you the business you want to get to. Lead generation. Lead generation. Let's say this realtor's office systems are at a 7. Lead generation. His lead generation's at a 6. How does he generate leads for his business? Yes, we work with our past clients and we get referrals. We get referrals from our past clients. We get our sphere of influence, and that's awesome. It's very limiting though. It only can give you so much per year. If you're looking to take your business to the next level, you have to implement something that generates leads. You can go online and get an online lead generation system, but you better be disciplined at follow-up and you better have a great system set up. Otherwise, you're just going to be wasting your money. You'll be looking for the low-hanging fruit and you'll get a few, but you're not going to get the ones that you need to get with a drip campaign or a drip system. Lead generation. When you're at an open house, you need to ask for the business. If you can't ask for the business, then you got to go back to the life wheel, do the spiritual work where you're strong enough and confident enough to ask for the business without feeling like you're being pushy or slimy or that kind of person you don't want to be. If all you do this year is go to each open house, laser focused on getting 2 leads, that's it. I have to ask for 2 leads, then you will succeed. So my goal for you is when you go to an open house, get 10 no's. I want you to ask 10 people, if I could help you purchase your new home, can I help you buy your new home? That way you can get your lead generation up. You can do online lead generation. You can do more open houses. You can do cold calling. You can do door knocking. If you're going to do those things, make sure your paraphernalia that you're handing out represents your values. Value-based marketing represents your purpose. You want to make a positive impact in those people's lives. Be laser focused on that paraphernalia you hand out, that it represents who you are. Don't just do black and white piece of crap because it's cheap to do. Take the time to make the product. I have a buyer's guide and a seller's guide that I have all my clients build and take care of. And maybe as a bonus to this webinar, if you guys log on to the Facebook page, I will send you a copy of my buyer's and my seller's package so that you guys can just take it. I'll put the company that makes it. You can give them a call, and probably within 1 week, you'd have your own buyers and sellers package. That will increase your lead generation. Past client management. If you want to take your game to the next level, you have to do a minimum of one past client appreciation event. I would highly recommend you do at least 2, but 4 or 3 would be great, and they do not have to be expensive. What you can do is you can either share an event with another realtor, like book a bowling alley, share it with another realtor. They get 6 lanes, you get 6 lanes. You share the clown that runs around. You share the photographer that takes pictures. You share the cost on the food and the booze, and they just bowl away and have a ton of fun. Or you get a mortgage broker or a banker to come in, and they will then help you with the costs by donating their costs to have their banking paraphernalia there as well. Some really inexpensive things that you can do that some realtors that have done. One that's really awesome is client photography events. So what they do is they hire a photographer for a day. They put them up. They put them in one place. They set up the appointments. They mail their clients, come have a family photo done. They come down. They might have Tim Hortons, donuts, coffee there. They take the photo. They go away. They end up with a family photo. And they're really happy because it's free of charge. And you're happy because you're able to do that. So I'm sorry, what's that? We have 7 minutes left? 15 minutes left. All right, we got 15 minutes left. I got to get through this. Some other things that you can do that are really great with client appreciation events is you can order the Shred-It mobile, and it can drive into your neighborhood, and for $700 or $500, you can have your clients come down and shred things. A lot of people are doing pumpkin patches at Halloween, which works really good. Some people do an Easter egg hunt, which is really good. These events don't have to be extraordinarily expensive. You can be creative with what you do. You can partner with somebody to get the expenses down. It does take effort, and it will improve your past client management, so you will get more referrals and more leads from your past clients. Confidence and thick skin. Get a mentor. Find somebody in your office that has experience that you can go and you can share your pains with, and they can also give you some great advice. If you don't just get a mentor, make sure you have things put in place that help you with your mental mindset so that you're projecting a positive outcome, not living and projecting a negative outcome. Oh, I'm not going to get any more deals. This isn't going to happen. On a scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you that 2018 is going to be a good year for you? That's the question. How confident are you? Let's say you're at a 7. To go to an 8 of building confidence in your business, what do you need to do? Well, you need to make sure your marketing's better. You need to be more committed and disciplined. You need to make sure that your office systems are running or you're increasing them. You need to make sure that you've got lead generation. You're touching base with your past clients. And you're taking care of your time management and your technology. If you do all those things, I guarantee you're building a business that you can trust to perform year after year after year. So, confidence and thick skin, get a mentor. If you don't have a mentor, find somebody in your office that's doing well. Go out with them, rub off some of that good juju. Make sure that you're in an environment that's going to get you what you want. Environment is key. Do not be hanging around a coffee machine, bitching about the market. Be going out with lunch with a top producer and find out what they're doing and do it. It's that simple. Time management. If you find that you're busy and you're not accomplishing what you want to accomplish, if you go to my Realtor Profit System when it's launched, what we have there is the 4 quadrants of time management. I teach you as a realtor how to take care of your money makers, which are urgent and important, your business builders, which are important but not as urgent, and your tasks, which are urgent but not as important. That's all confusing, but what it is when realtors tell me they're busy, they're so busy doing the couple of deals they have and running around and taking care of all the details that they're not taking the time to build their business. They're not calling their past clients. They're not doing a post on social media. They're not going out and following up with all their leads. They're not doing their just lists just solds, and they're not booking their open houses because they're too busy. And then the next thing is they do their deals and they have nothing for the next 2 months. We don't want that to happen. So make sure you manage your time. So if the guy was at a 7 or the realtor was at a 7, to take it to an 8 in time management, I would highly recommend downloading my AIM Real Estate Focus app and taking the 4 quadrants and making sure you use it, where every week on Monday, you're booking your week. You're booking your money makers. And this is on Money Making Mondays. You book your money makers, you book your business builders, and then you take your tasks. And if you're good at doing the money makers and the business builders, you're in a position to hire an assistant to delegate all those tasks, or hire those third parties to take care of those tasks so that you have more time to do your business builders, which automatically increases your business. Technology. If you're out there and you're a realtor and you do not have any form of a CRM or any form of a client data management system, do that today. Because here's the thing. The more organized you are with where your leads and your clients and your listings are, the more focused you're going to be at servicing them, and the more focused you're going to be at getting more return from them. So technology, everything's available. My app is coming out with the Realtor Profit System. I believe we're launching it in about a week, and that's a 11 modules, 4 videos per module training system that goes with the app that talks about everything I'm doing here, but in laser focused detail to help you take your business. If anything, mark that down on your calendar, go to the private Facebook page. We'll announce when it's coming out. You download that. I guarantee just by adding that to your business will change your business. So now that the big sales pitch is gone, let's move on to some other things you can do in technology. So Walk Score is a great thing. You can download the Walk Score app. It tells you the walk score of neighborhoods. So if you're out showing homes in a neighborhood you're not familiar with, you tap on that. It shows the walk score. You can find the elementary schools, tap on it. It tells you all about the elementary schools. So Walk Score is a good one to do. Make sure that you have all the tools that are being given to you by your real estate boards. Make sure that you're using and downloading all those tools properly, and make sure you're efficient. If you aren't, then book a course, and that goes back to our life wheel of learning. Make sure that you are learning new technology. So now that you have 8 things that you can do in your life for 2018, and you're going to have 8 things that you're going to do in your business for 2018, that means you have 16 things you're going to implement in your life and your business in 2018 for your goals and dreams that are built on your celebrations, which means you're improving from where you started. You've stopped. You've noticed where you are in your life and business. You're laser focused with the purpose of looking to impact your life and others' lives in a positive way. You know what you want to do. You know how to +1 it. You now have a tool you could use every week in your life that would absolutely make everything come to fruition for you. So we've got 10 minutes left in the webinar. Next week, we're going to be doing your realtor. Sorry, let me get focused here. We're going to be doing the CEO's review of your business. That's up to you. You need to go through your business and you need to fill that out. How much your income was, how many transactions you did, your average commission. Then you're going to put in your costs. You need to know your hard and your soft costs. So just to give it to you real quick, the hard costs are the costs that you have to pay. If you got sick and you want to keep everything alive, you had to pay it. Hard costs are your licensing, your board fees. Hard costs are your assistants, your office fees, all those things that you have to pay. Once you know your hard costs, your soft costs are your marketing, your things that you could cancel at any time. So if you have bus benches, or if you've got just listed, just sold, if you're doing client appreciation events, those are soft costs because we can do them or not do them, stop them or keep them going. Once you know your hard costs and your soft costs, you'll know your overall expense for 2017. You take your overall expenses, you divide that by your gross income, and that will give you a percentage of what you're running your business at. If you're at about $120 to about $180,000 in income, you should be running at about 30 to 33%. Of course, as your income gets higher, that percentage drops. So if you're around 250 to 400, you should be running your business somewhere around 27 to 30%. And if you're actually at the $500,000 to the $1 million mark, you're probably going to be running your business at 27, 26%. I've seen it as low as 17% at that high, and I've also seen it as high as 60%. The reason you're going to this webinar is you don't go to that 60%. So that's webinar 3, where we set the budget. So your homework is do your CEO's review, your CEO's forecast, and make sure that that work's done by next Wednesday. We're at 10 a.m., same place, same time. You'll be receiving the emails and the updates if there's anything that goes along. please go to the private Facebook page that's written down there, and make sure if you have any questions to put them on the Facebook page, and I promise I will address them in the next webinar. I'm here for you to help you tailor your business so that you can build a business you trust to perform every year after year, and it doesn't matter what market you're playing in. Did we receive any questions at all, Abdul, on the private chat there at all? Okay. So other than that, folks, I'm excited to see you next week. Make sure you do your homework. If you have any problems downloading the files or anything like that, send us an email and we'll make sure we help you as soon as we can. Have a great day, crush it, and make a difference in someone's life today. And I'll see you next week.